Give me just a moment. And action. We're good.
Hey, are we recording?
Yes, sir.
Yep, I see it now. Okay, good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Paul.
Good morning. May 18th, 2020, and this is the Town of Penny Farm Finance Committee virtual meeting. It's now 10:05 a.m. and the following people are present. Paul Sabin, myself as chair, David Cooper as town manager, Anita Cooper as town clerk, Bill Brower, Tom Ryder, and Susan Kimsley. Absent is James Weir. According to the Florida Municipal Officials Manual, although citizens are allowed to attend all meetings of the public body, there is no requirement that citizens be allowed to participate in these meetings. Citizens are permitted to participate at public hearings and legislative meetings, such as the town council meetings. So at this time, I call the Finance Committee meeting to order. And the first item on the agenda is a motion to approve the April 16th, 2019, it should be 2020, I
Yes,
think.
sir. You're right.
Finance Committee minutes. So do I have a motion?
So move, Tom Ryder.
Okay, is there a second?
Second, Bill Brower.
Are there any questions pertaining to the minutes before we formally complete this process about either the content or any questions? Hearing none, all those who would favor the passage of this motion say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Carried. Okay, at this time, we're going to move on the agenda to go over the April monthly fund report. And Anita had mentioned that had discussed this with David and with me, that she's going to take the lead, I think, on the general fund. Is that where we need to start, Anita?
Yes, please. Okay, last minutes. All of the line items were approved. All the capital projects were approved. And for the finance meeting, for the record, it was done. They were approved at the town council meeting. So Ms. Kimsley had reminded me about line items that needed to change. So the reason I asked to do the general fund was to point out those line item changes. Before we go down the list of the important things that happened, I need the finance committee to understand how your report is looking now. So that's why we're doing this. In your income section on your general fund report that you have, we have the normal one that has everything on it. You'll see that the last line item in the income, 389,901, now shows a building permit capital amount. And on the budgeted part was the 73,470. And the reason that amount is there is because on this capital sheet that was approved, the capital projects that we approved, that was the ADA restrooms, the climate controlled storage room, the painting and the landscaping, and the new website, totaled 73,420. So that is what's budgeted in that line item.
All right.
So far, so good? Okay. Now you will also, when you get down to the expenses, if you look in the capital expenditure section,
that's on page 2.
It's on page 2 of your general fund report, about 3/4 of the way down.
Yep.
You
51.
Yes, you will see some different line items. You'll see one for 5196302 for the painting and landscaping of the town hall for the approved amount of $15,000. You'll see the indication BPR, building permit revenues. That's what that stands for. The next line will be the ADA restrooms for $30,000, the town hall storage room for $25,000, and then the new town website. The last four items equals that $73,470. So I wanted you to see those differences, and that's how that number came up. I also need to point out, if you go back to the income section again, you have the first two line items are ad valorem tax revenues. Those total $72,787. That is what we are just about going to receive from the 2019 ad valorem taxes. Please keep in mind, again, referring to this sheet, the ad valorem taxes and the building permit revenues, all of that money is located within the general fund. Okay? So that's what this tracking of the revenues is for, so we know which portion of the capital money we are spending. Now, when we're getting in 72,787 in ad valorem taxes. However, you need to subtract your 32,000 of replacing and operating for the town. Are we all clear on that? That's why we implemented ad valorem taxes to start with. Okay, so technically the town has 40,787 to spend in ad valorem taxes. Does that make sense so far? Okay. We approved the cleaning of Passive Park for $10,000. We also approved the $2,000 for the sliding gate. So that's a total of $12,000 out of the ad valorem taxes, which again on page 2 in your capital expenditure section, you have those two items listed. Okay? Now, if you look, you have also in the capital expenditure section, you have a line item for the restricted 5196225. You see that amount of 28,787? That is what we said we were going to do for future. We only approved the two projects out of the ad valorem for this year. The 28,787 is listed for future capital projects with ad valorem tax money. Are we good? Okay. Now, if you think about it, 28,012 comes up to your 40,787. Are we good? Okay. Alrighty. So, in order to make my QuickBooks report come out correctly, I have to account for that other 32,000 of operating.
Yeah.
Okay? So I have put that 32,000 in your line item under capital expenditures 519-6200. It's capital A unrestricted. That is where I put it for the 32,000 of operating. Doesn't mean we can spend it. Actual spending that the town manager can do, he has $5,650 left. The rest is the 32,000 for the operating. I need to come up with the code to put that operating money in. I probably could add it to the restricted line. But I just want you to know where that $32,000 is right this very second. But I'm waiting for the auditor to clear that up for me on where I should put that.
Deborah, you have a thought about that, or you think that's
It's probably
for the
going to go
auditor?
in the restricted for 2019.
My feeling is talk to the auditors and get their agreement of where it should be.
Exactly.
Okay.
So, but I had to account for it, and I wanted you to know where I put it for right now until I get the auditor's response. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Those are the big changes that had to be made. So now when we're tracking revenues, back to this sheet that I sent to you all, you'll be able to see, and you can follow those balances across. They will match upside, going across and up and down. That's your number to work with. It's your actual bank statement balance. And then you have 388,306 left in general fund cash reserves, that top line. Does that make sense to everyone? The way it's split out? Okay, good. No questions. Excellent. All right. So now, in the general fund, let's start there. In line item 311000, the ad valorem 2019 assessment, we did collect another $1,100.53 on the 16th of April. So that's added to it. I think we're right at $2,000 left to collect. So we just about got everything paid for that we were hoping, and the money was right on as far as what we anticipated or estimated to get. So that should be somewhat reassuring when we do this process all over again, that we were relatively correct. In your other miscellaneous revenues, line item 369,900, we got $31.44 refunded to the town for an overage that I paid in the fourth quarter payroll taxes. It's always nice to be over and not under. So we did good there. We did receive some more money for the CDBG grant. We received in another $11,699.50. That will be expensed in the expense section, and it'll be explained that part of it went to the grant administrator and part of it went to the engineer. So we'll go over that when we get to the expenses, but I wanted you to see it coming in. Also, we received our quarterly mowing payment of $3,700.68. We get one more before it's over. And then the other is the building permit capital line, where you will see that is line item 389,901. The building permit capital, $3,470 was showing coming in there for the new town website. That is the setup and operating for 1 year. So it'll be $970 annually after this year. So we're good until April of 2021 before we have to pay the next year. But we are ADA compliant with our website. Please, please, please check out the town's new website at www.pennyfarmsfl.org. It is such a nice updated website, has a lot of information. We included links to the Penny retirement community, all kinds of local links that people may need or use. We have all of our meeting information on there. We now have agendas, minutes. It's been really nice to have a new website to where we can be able to, I think it's going to be a really good way to communicate with residents as well as the public and do all of our due diligence regarding the Sunshine Law and follow all of our guidelines for these meetings.
And I just wanted to break in and comment, which I did at the town council workshop last Friday, that it'll be nice now, and the reports coming up from the county that have been primarily related to this pandemic, that up to now we were just mentioned without any kind of website or linkage. We were the only town in the list that was just contact and a phone number. So now it pleases me, I think all of us, to know that we'll join the club, that we are now offering equal access to information with the other larger towns.
Absolutely. And that was a huge deal, and I thank the council for allowing us to get that done. That was super important. Okay, that is all for the income in the general fund.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yes.
Just clarification. On this tracking revenue sheet that,
This one?
you know, the standard sheet you gave us,
Yes.
the total permit revenues of 207,000, that represents 2019, is that right?
That will be for the fiscal year of 2019-2020. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and then what we show here on line item 322000, is that reflected in the 207,000?
I'm sorry, which line item again? I'm sorry.
A building permit fee 322000.
No, that is not part of that. That is the new revenues that we're getting for fiscal year 2019-20. Those have not been included in your building permit revenues list on our tracking so far. That beginning balance for the building permit revenues of 281,154, that was the
Right.
revenues only through 9/30/2019. These revenues that you're referring to in line item 322000, those are the new permit fees that we have collected since October 1st. At the end of this fiscal year, we will add that to our building permit revenues.
Oh,
Does that answer your
Oh.
question?
okay, so the 281 takes us through the end of the last fiscal year,
Yes.
and this 19,499 is in the current fiscal year.
Correct.
Okay, but this paper says 2019-2020 budget. So would we want to identify the two?
I could do that. Yes, ma'am. I have done that on
Would we want-
previous reports. Yes, I will identify that.
And because that money 281 is not that year, it's the previous year, right?
Yes,
Am I-
yes, you're correct. So I will
is
make
there
that
any-
notation on the next report that you get with the updated. There's no more.
there-
I will correct it because there won't be any more capital projects to be tracking. This is it for this fiscal year.
Oh, okay. But is there any benefit in adding a line under the 207 that, you said at the end of this year we'll add, let's say, the 19,000 or whatever it is.
Yes,
Is that right?
yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay, I get you. All right. Okay, thank you.
So then the next year, when we do our capital budget planning, get ready to do it, you will have through 9/30/2020 revenues to work with.
Okay, gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good questions. Love it, Miss Kimsey. I love it. I will make that notation and definitely put that notation in on there to be corrected when we add the next one. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, general fund expenses. To remind the Finance Committee, we should be at 58% of our budget. We've got 5 months left. We're just a little over halfway. So we should be at 58% of your budget. I don't get to make those notations on the actual reports anymore, like I used to on the colored reports where I could make those notations. I can't do that on these, so I'm just going to voice tell you and put it in the minutes for you.
Anita, do you type in this April 2020 business up here in the heading?
I do. Maybe I could put it there.
Yeah, just put a dash and put 58%.
Okay, I could do that.
Work for you.
Yes. See? Perfect fix. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so 58%, remember that. April was also a month that we had 3 payrolls, and we all know what that means. That means more money went out. So let's go through these expenses. There are several of them to go through. And the first one would be line item 511-900, the Council Reserve Fund. $111.18 was spent on items for the first quarter Town Council Workshop lunch. These bills don't come in until a month later when I use the town credit card. So that's why it takes so long to catch up. Line item number 2, item number 2, 513-3100, professional services. $400 was paid out for the IT support when the town clerk's computer crashed and had to be replaced. So my whole computer crashed last month. So in addition to changing everything over, trying to back it up and coax it back to life in order to do that, that was a job. So we got that done and didn't miss a lick as far as meetings, so we did good. But it cost us $400 to get the help to do that. Line item 513-4600, repair and maintenance. $85 was paid out to repair the general office air conditioner. The air conditioner went out here at Town Hall in our office. Got that fixed. Line item 513-4901, legal ads. $72 was paid for the public hearing notice that had to go in the paper for the Tree City ordinance. We always have to put those in the paper. Next item was line item 513-5400. The total of $316.77 was for the following expenses. $80 for a PDF and filer for the administrative assistant's computer. She had to have that in order to do some of our forms and get some of these items needed to do virtual meetings. And then $28 was for 2 monthly QuickBook payroll fees. You usually see $14 there, but because April's a long month, they charge me for 2 at the beginning and at the end of the month. So it looks like there's 2 payments, but you're going to be fine for May as well. $34.99 was for McAfee computer security for all 5 computers in the front office. Ours had expired. We need to add something there. $29.15 was for petty cash reimbursement for different certified mail and some gift wrap that was still left over from the Christmas parade, but it took me that long for the reimbursement. $18.30 was for freight for a new stop sign, and $55.60 was for the new name tags for the mayor and vice mayor. Mr. Saban, those name tags where it says Paul Saban is mayor and Elizabeth Ryder is vice mayor, those were ordered and done a long time ago, but the store that they're located at is still closed. They haven't opened up yet for me to pick them up. So It's ready to go. As soon as they open, I'll make sure I get those to you all. Line item number 7. Same thing happened here. Or item number 7. Line item 519, 4400. The rentals and leases. Because of the long month of April, there was 2 copier lease payments, totaling $837.90. Now, office supplies, you're going to see a large number there. Please don't be shocked. Line item 519, 5100 office supplies was a total of $2,983.98. I can tell you that copy paper has doubled because everybody has been home. The homeschooling, home office, home whatever, copy paper is now double what it was. So you have copy paper, cleaning supplies. We had to stock up as much as we could before the COVID-19 things. Paper products, toilet paper, paper towels for the town hall and the maintenance shop and the public restrooms around town. So we had quite a bit there. We needed some more 3-ring binders, and we ordered all the printer cartridges for all the printers at one time because of the COVID-19. There was a major, you can't get them right now. They're sold out. So we went ahead and did them all at one time.
Anita, I have a question.
Yes.
On all of these updates on the pandemic that come from the county,
Yes.
the state and the county, you've been making paper copies very faithfully, every week, and then we've been, quite a pile. Is there any way, are we prepared where just on that portion, those could be sent to us electronically to cut down, or does that mess up our need to have,
No, we could do
everything,
that. We could do that. We could send, it depends. It's starting to get a little less and less, not quite as much as it once was. It would be hard to have done, in a week's time. Sometimes there was 10, 12 reports that were coming out. It was hard to do
Right.
that. But we could probably do it now. It's lessened to be just 1 or 2 a day, so I could definitely do that. I could email those out to the council members instead. That's a good suggestion.
Also, go ahead.
Yes, go ahead.
Also, would it be useful to print on both sides of the paper, print 2 sides instead of 1 to lower your cost a little?
We could. Okay. I'm just making my notes. I'm sorry. Yep. Those are good little hints. We could probably do things like that. Let's see. We had to do all that. Label tape. We needed some USB sticks. We got the remaining 6 custom frames for here behind me on the wall. The remaining picture frames. From Michael's because they were going to be closed down. Let me check something real quick. That was a lot. That totaled quite a bit. Let's see. $726.75. They were expensive, but that was part of the redoing of the council room. I wanted to make sure we had all the rest of them to match, so because they're no longer going to have those frames, so we had to make sure we got those. We also ordered new business cards with the new website listed on them. There's 4 sets and a new mail bag that had our little town seal on it for $109, or I'm sorry, for $190. And then we had $109 for the second monitor for me to be able to do these Zoom meetings. So there was a lot of added expenses just to make sure we could get everything going the way we needed to go. So that's a large amount, but I just wanted to give you the explanation. The next line item to discuss would be 519-6307. That's the Newtown website, paid with the building permit revenues. We showed it coming in on the income. It is now being paid out, $3,470 for the design and the development of the town's new website. So you see that in your expenses. The next line item is 521001, the state grant, stormwater CDBG grant. That shows you that the $11,699 was paid out to the grant, for the grant. $2,500 of it went to the grant administrator and $9,199 went to the engineer. Moving on, we've got line item 541-4600, repair and maintenance. $205 was paid for a case of oil and equipment, for the equipment and repairs to the pole pruner that we use. And then we've got, almost at the end, we have line item 541-5200, Public Works operating supplies. $1,397.27 was spent on 100 quarter-inch washers, conduit lock, spray grips, some red Rust-Oleum paint, miscellaneous PVC fittings, 250 conduit lock tie rods, 2 dyno lock tools, and we also had to pay for toll enforcement, $6.05, because I got a bill from the toll people that we had sent. One of our employees went on the new expressway without a sun pass. They sent me the bill. It was $6.05. We had to pay that. And then the workshop got a vise, a swivel, and 2 heavy surge protectors for the front office to protect our computer equipment. So it was $1,397.20 in that line item for last month. Line item 541-5201 for fuel. $555.90 was spent filling up the fuel tank at Town Hall that month. Under line item 541-5300, road materials, supplies, and equipment, $442.24 was spent on the new sign for Palmetto Avenue, a bench grinder, wire wheel brush, a photo control sensor, and a circuit breaker for those supplies and equipment. Line item 572-4600 for the repair and maintenance at the parks. $40 was paid out to replace the light sensor at the playground park and replace the GFI M breaker in Kohler Park. Let's see, we have one more line item. 572-4800 special events. $147.53. Finance Committee might not be aware, or I don't know if we've mentioned this or not yet, but $147.53 was paid out for a key to the city plaque for John Bowles. At the last couple council meetings before we shut down and did virtual meetings, they wanted to give John Bowles, who plays JCPenney at all our town events, they wanted to give him the first official key to the city. So I ordered it, we have it, we just haven't been able to get together in order to present it to him yet. So that's the expense for that item. So overall, in the town, in the general fund, you have a total income of $50,516.57. That's 32.2% of your income budget, which is a little low when we're supposed to be at 58. So we're going to talk about that here in just a minute as well. Your total expenses were $54,183.88. And that was 23.8%. So we still spent more than what came in. You have a negative balance in the general fund this month for April of $3,667.31. I could tell you primarily for some of the extra expenses for COVID-19 that we needed here at the office, computer crashing, and 3 payrolls. So that's the main reason for this month
Payroll
is
is a
while
big
you're out. When I talk about the expenses real quick, or the income, in your packets for your meeting today, I sent quite a bit of information, but I wanted the finance committee to know that the town manager and I are definitely following the how the COVID-19 crisis is affecting your state revenues that are coming in. Did you all receive those sheets showing the I have to find mine now. I pulled mine out of order. But you should have a state revenue sheet for your state revenues. There should be one. There should also be one for your franchise fees. And there will be another one, here they are, for the interest income that the town is receiving. Did you all receive that, right? Here, I finally found mine. Yay. I wanted to report to the finance committee. The reason I sent these to you is because we are kind of tracking to see how the town of Penny Farms is being affected by lower state revenues. People are not going out. They're not buying fuel. They're not, sales tax might be lower, all kinds of things. So I put this together. The town has a total of 5 state revenues that they get. The first local option fuel tax, and then we have the discretionary surtax, we have a communication service tax, a state revenue sharing, and a local government half-cent sales tax. So those are the 5 state revenues that we get. On the second page of your state revenues, you can see the total that we're down. I did each one, but it shows you starting in February that we started kind of losing a little bit of revenue in everything but the state revenue sharing. There's no change there. So that one has stayed the same, but we have lost in the month of, from the month of April, as of April 30th, about $2,333.28 in state revenues for the town. So that's why I wanted you to take a look at these sheets. I wanted to show you what was budgeted. I wanted to show you we should be at 58%, so you can see the percentage where we should be right now. So any questions on the state revenues?
Anita?
Yes.
I have a question. On 31-24-10, I think I'm looking at the actual 48%, but I think you want that to be 68.45%. That's the LOCOP. If I look at the
Did you already
general fund,
hold on one second, let me get my pencil here. That should be at what percent, you say?
well, I'm looking at the general fund percentage for that line item.
Mm-hmm.
I see it's 68.45%, but the calculation is done to 48.98%.
Okay, let me look at that. 68.45. You are so right.
Yep.
There's been a lot of information.
It is a lot of information, but running all the figures and putting both of these together, I found that you were down about over $4,000. If I looked at all of the ones that you gave us for the general, between the franchise fees and the
When you count the franchise
Yeah, so I
fees,
didn't do
you're
that,
down
yes.
$6,000.
When you get to the
between both of them
franchise,
together,
we're just
Yes.
talking about state revenues right now.
Right.
You're down the 2,300. But now when you, I will double check those numbers. I don't know why that's doing that, because that's true. It should match there. So many things, so many things. Okay,
Anita?
yes, sir.
Nina,
Yes.
I have a question. And obviously, I think we've got to be very sensitive to what changes are likely to take place in revenue coming in from the state and the county.
Yes.
Do you have any feel at all for what the lag time is? Like, these are April numbers, but they're not probably really reflecting revenues that came in to the county or the state in April. They're probably more related to March. So that we could still be way behind the power curve in terms of seeing the impact.
Speaking to
On
my,
borrowing.
yes, speaking to my other city clerks who do the same work that I do. There's a lot that have an accountant or they have a bookkeeper or they have something. But speaking to the couple that I have,
Right.
that we do the same, we have come to the conclusion that we're probably 30, 60 days still of feeling the impact
Okay.
of more. So
Right,
this is what we have for our town as of officially that is sent to us by the state. So those
Right.
are factual numbers. So we're not sure. We're not sure yet, but we're saying 30, 60
Right.
days longer.
okay, that's basically what I was looking for, you're thinking the lag time might be.
Yeah, 30,
All
60
right.
days from
All
these
right.
numbers on 4/30. So we're looking at probably June 30th. Everything should be kind of back at an even keel. So you won't get those
Right.
numbers until July, the way we
Yeah.
do, you know.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
And hopefully come in time to affect our assessments when we do the new budget.
Oh, for sure, because that's going to be a major factor in how we move forward, for sure. Franchise fees, we figured the same way. On the second page of those, we have 3 franchise fees. We have a utility tax on propane. We have a solid waste franchise fee, and we have Florida Power and Light has a franchise fee as well as a municipal tax from both of those. The total loss as of 4/30/2020 is $3,968.85. So combined, you were correct. It will be, let's see, got a calculator right here. 233 3.2.
I think it's about 6,000, a little over 6,000.
3968.85. Yeah, the combined loss is $6,302.13 as of April 30th. So that's a significant loss, so to speak. But I wanted the Finance Committee to say we're going to continue monitoring these revenues as they come in, and you'll probably see more before it's over. So that's why we're a little low. At the last Finance Committee meeting, Mr. Brower also mentioned that the interest income would be affected,
Right.
and he was absolutely right on that.
Yeah, it was.
Absolutely right. That's the third set of revenues that I sent you that we were tracking of revenue that were coming in. They look like this with the general fund up front. There's a lot of information on these. In the general fund, I broke them out to show you that in the general fund, there's 2 bank accounts. The CDBG bank account, which gains 0 interest because there's usually only $10 in there. When money goes in and out of that account, it is in and out the same day. There's never more than a $10 balance, so there won't be any interest generated from that account. But the general fund bank account itself took a significant hit. I cannot come up with a total loss in interest because interest is compounded daily. And especially with the general fund being part of that program where they do a sweep in order for us to be FDIC insured, most of our money is taken out of that account. It is all liquid. We have full access to it. There is no problem with it. It is just everything up to $250,000 gets taken out of there and sent to different locations for the best interest rate. And that is done daily. There is no way for me to show except for the way that I did it on you of the difference from the previous month. And I did the bank statement balance in the general fund, but the actual percentage is what is next to it. The amount, when you look at the general fund, the amount is the actual number we have received. So the difference from the previous months, you can see the difference where the interest did go. We're not receiving as much because the interest rates are all over the place.
But if you look at that, if I could just interject this here, when we went to that program of the interest was one of the best things that we ever did. And we budgeted $15,000. So, I mean, we're not that far off if you look at it of what we actually are and where we're at right this minute. So, but I just wanted to interject that was a good program that we went through.
We did $15,000 for all three funds.
Yes.
There's only $8,500. Now remember, we still have 5 more months to go left in the fiscal year.
Right.
So we're going to still continue to receive money. It's just not going to be until things turn around a little bit. It's just not going to be able to be racking it up like we were before. So just wanted to show you all that we are paying attention to those. So far, this fiscal year, we've collected $7,263.46 in all 3 funds, which is 7 bank accounts. And Mr. Cooper just said that we budgeted 15, so we're halfway there, but we have 5 months to go. I don't know if we're going to meet that or not unless things change significantly, but that's where we're at this point with those items.
Yeah.
Does that make sense to
Hey,
everyone?
Anita?
Yes.
Anita,
We lost Miss Kimsey.
can you hear me, Anita?
I can hear you. I lost Miss Kimsey though.
Yeah. Will you continue on with the water utility and the sewer? I'm trying to keep it on mute back here because they're doing so much of the banging is
I
going
know.
loud.
If
So
you
I'm
hear
gonna
some
take you off
banging,
of-
yes.
I'm gonna put myself off. But when somebody wants to talk to me, I'll turn it back on because I'm in the middle of construction back here in this area.
Okay. Is everybody okay though with the general fund? At this point, I wanted to
Yeah.
explain those sheets that you got and make sure everybody understood what I sent them. We good?
Okay, Ian, Tom, I do have a question.
Yes.
I know we track building permit income. Do we track anywhere building permit expenses?
The only place that you'll see expenses are in the general fund. In the expense section, you will see on the second page. Let me find it. You'd think I'd look at this. I'm not used to the new reports. Third page, very top section. It says protective inspections. Those are the inspections, the expenses that we pay for inspections and plan reviews to Clay County. Those are definitely expenses, and the state surcharge fees that we do quarterly. So those are the expenses based on what we get in.
Okay, is there any way we can track part of salaries and?
Yes, I'm
what
working
use
on
it-
that. I am working on that right now, and that will be considered at the next, when we go to do the budget. That will definitely be part of the process as far as how we figured out payroll. We're gonna separate that out. We're gonna separate a
Yeah.
percentage for building
Okay.
permit revenues as well. So yes.
Yeah, otherwise
Yeah,
that just building up and we can't spend it.
Yes, we are working on
Hey,
that,
Anita?
for sure. Yes, sir?
Also, just for Tom's knowledge, is every single building permit is analyzed, how much of it's expense and how much of it is revenue for every
Yes.
building permit. We already do that.
Yes.
Okay.
We're,
Did we lose, Susan?
I've lost Susan. She left the meeting. She might have had to go to something else.
Okay.
Oh, nope, she's back. Hold on, let me let her back in. It happens. You hit the wrong button and boom, everything goes wrong. Okay, she's connecting now. Are you there, Miss Susan? Well, she's connected back, but I don't see her, so she may have had to walk off. Well, at least she's connected back. Are we okay with the general fund then? That was a lot of information. Just want to make sure that the finance committee knows we're staying on top of that.
We normally take a vote on all together, but I think in light of this morning, let's just, for the record, I'm open to a motion to accept the general fund report.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Okay.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the water utility. I'm gonna put my general fund stuff away. The water utility, the next two are easy. It's the general fund that has so much information in it. Okay. Get back to my notes here. All right, in the water utility fund, in the income, line item 3433011, we had 2 new water accounts, $30 each, totaling $60 we received in. Line item 3434005, solid waste franchise fees. We received in $588.67, which includes the payments from Advanced Disposal for $486.67 and Metagreen Waste for $120 even. We're still in income. Line item 3810001, contingency reserves for the water utility. $1,409.20 was paid out for no, I'm sitting here looking. Okay, paid out for generator major repair. That was not planned, but we had a major problem with the generator at the master lift station, so we paid that out. Line item 381002, contingency reserves for the wastewater sewer. The amount of $1,150 was paid out to resident Geraldine Barton for sewer plumbing repairs. And you'll see this being transferred out to the wastewater sewer fund in the expense section, and then showing as income when we get to the wastewater sewer again. I'm looking at these, and the reason why I'm stuttering just a minute is because that master lift station generator major repair probably should go in with the wastewater sewer. So I will need to correct that on the paperwork for next month. But you see both of them came out of the reserves.
Yeah, that's definitely sewer.
Yeah, that's definitely sewer. So I need to correct that. Okay. So our water revenue was, remember, we're supposed to be at 58%. Our water revenue, we're at 61.7. So we're right there at it, a little bit ahead. Our solid waste revenue is at 58.25%, which is right on the money. So your total of $1,870.65, out of that amount, $1,281.98 is for our garbage service items, and $588.67 is for the solid waste franchise fees. So you're right on the money with garbage. You're a little ahead on water. Your miscellaneous revenue is at 49.45%, and those were for the interest earned for the bank accounts in the water fund. So the water utility bank account made $38.76. Your customer deposit bank account interest was $12.46. And your water reserve interest was $28.30. So that's that $79.52. Your interfund transfers, those are your contingency reserves and things like that, are at 14.51%. So we're doing good. Had to use just a little bit of it, but you're still doing real well on those. So that's the income for the water. For the expenses, again, let me remind you, there were 3 payrolls this month. The first line item, welcome back, Miss Kimsey. Line item 533, 3100 professional services. That's where your U.S. Water is getting paid $379.39 for the required water samples and chlorine testing for the month. You have line item 533, 4200 freight and postage. We spent $264.03 for the following expenses. It was 4 rolls of postcard stamps and 2 regular rolls of stamps, and then $14.03 for shipping and handling of Sunstate meter supplies delivery. So we always rotate the freight and postage around for the postcard stamps for the water, between the water and the sewer, and sometimes we have to send regular letters out. So we had to make sure we had all of our postage. Line item 533, 4600 repair and maintenance. $200 was for the repair of the water line break on Dwight Street during April. We had to call somebody in and help us out with that one, but it was $200 even. Line item 533, 4900 other charges and water labs. Believe it or not, Bass Express, before we had U.S. Water, we used to pay to get our water samples picked up and taken to Jacksonville to the labs for testing. Well, I just received the final invoice for $68 from Bass Delivery for June and July of 2019 that we own them. So we have a 0 balance on that account now. So just so you know. That's what's happening there. So that was an old bill. Okay, line item 535, 5100, the office supplies, chlorine, $125.77 was for 9 2.5 gallons of chlorine, 2 toilet seats, a mop, bleach, and Pine Sol. We're trying to clean up the back maintenance shop restroom for us ladies to use with all the renovations going on up here at the front office, as well as the little restroom over here by the tennis courts. Between the 2 of them, we should be okay until they finish with these restrooms. Okay, line item 533, 5200, the operating meters and components. The total of $447.03 was for a couple things. $321 of it was paid to Vector Security, part of it for the regular monitoring at the water tower building, and then the rest was for a service call to repair the video cameras at this site. We've been having a problem with being able to connect with those cameras. So, but of course they're going to charge you for your service call to come out. Then $125.08 was paid to Sunstate Meter and Supplies for 2 3/4 inch curb stops and 2 3/4 inch meter couplings. And then one more item. Line item 533, 5600, the contingency emergency equipment and repairs. The total of $2,559.20 was paid out of the reserve account for the following expenses. We mentioned the $1,150 that was paid to Miss Geraldine Barton to pay for her sewers repairs, as she requested from the town council. We took care of that, as well as the $1,409.20 to the Soaks Power Systems for the major master lift station generator repair. So that was a major repair. So $2,500 went out as an emergency this past month too. All right, so your total income for the water utility was $12,066.37. Your total expenses for the water utility was $11,335.74. With leaving a positive balance of $730.63 for the water. Any questions on the water utility?
Yeah, Anita, just one general question.
Yes.
We have a fairly significant list of emails at this point, don't we? And could people, if they so choose, opt to get their water and utility bill by email rather than postcard?
No, we have to show that we mailed those bills out. That is a federal rule for a water utility. Cannot send them email.
I don't pay any of my other utility bills with, from a.
We're not set up for payments online or any way, shape, or form like that in order to provide that service. Let me put it to you that way.
Okay.
Are you thinking about saving?
I'm thinking about saving the postage.
Save it on the postage. Yeah. There's no. We have to be able. It has to go through the mailing system in order to prove that we mailed the bill out. That is the dilemma we have.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we're not set up like other bill companies where we can say, get rid of your paperless invoices, your paperless statements. Right. The town is nowhere near ready to do that.
Okay.
But that might be something to consider in the future when we're all hitting the lottery and doing great again,
Right.
All right. Any other questions on the water utility?
If not, I'll entertain a motion from the committee to approve the water utility report for April.
Okay. I'll move.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Okay, thank you. Let's move ahead to the sewer.
Okay, I put this over here and grab this one. Okay, in the wastewater sewer, again, remember we're supposed to be at 58%. In the income section, the only thing of significance is showing is line item 3810001. The contingency reserves is showing where that $1,150 is coming into the sewer fund for the Geraldine Barton sewer repairs that were done to her property. And it will show going out in the expenses when we get there. Nothing else significant in the wastewater revenue except that we're supposed to be at 58%. We're at 54.27. So we're kind of right there getting closer all the time with different numbers. Your miscellaneous revenue, which includes your interest earned for the 2 bank accounts located in this fund. The wastewater sewer fund itself made $8.13. The wastewater restricted DEP made $14.09 in interest. So for your total of $22.22. Okay, that's it for the income. In your expenses, again, there's 3 payrolls in April. The significant items would be line item 535, 4600, the repair and maintenance. $367.50 was for the following. We had a $105 service call for a pump clog at the car wash that we had to get undone, and we had a $262.50 service call to the Palmetto lift station to unclog a pump that was running hot, and we caught it before anything blew up. So be grateful for the 262 at this point. Then we have one other, your line item 535, 4900, your other charges, your CCUA bill. We paid out $5,309.90, and this bill was for 28 days. Now, the CCUA, I keep track of that too to see where we're at. Let's see, where is it? 5309 compared to last month, it was $400 less. So we're staying on a nice average keel with CCUA. It's working out real nice. And the last item showing being paid out was, of course, the $1,150 to Miss Geraldine Barton. I know it seems crazy to see that line item 4 times, but because that bank account is located in the water utility, I do have to show where that money came in, where it's being transferred out of the water fund into the sewer and then paid out of the sewer. I know that seems crazy, but it's the only way to track where that money went with QuickBooks at this point. So your total income for the wastewater sewer was $16,630.40. And your total expenses were $13,183.38, with a positive balance of $3,447.02. And that is it for the wastewater. Questions? Okay, we all good. Yay!
I'll move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, carried. Okay, Anita, you've done a great job. Just review with us
The bank accounts real quick.
bank accounts.
Okay. Okay, let me do this. This goes over here. Okay, the bank accounts in your general fund. Your bank balance for the general fund as of April 30th, 2020 was $710,246.93. Your CDBG grant bank account is $10. Your water utility enterprise fund has $143,493.92. Wastewater sewer bank account has $26,078.27. Your water utility reserve has $97,515.01 in it. Your customer deposit account has $21,825.14. And your wastewater restricted DEP account has $49,471.52 in it. And keep in mind that will change next month significantly because I'm getting ready to make the DEP payment for 2020. So in May, here in the next week. So otherwise, everything there looks good. So any questions on those?
Hearing none, then I think it would be in order for David. Thank you, Anita, for.
You're welcome.
And morning, it would be appropriate for David to go over the other items on the agenda.
What do we?
We're pretty much done with the agenda unless the town manager has anything he wants to update the
I
finance.
could probably, let me fill you guys in just a little bit on the stormwater project. We have, I'm 99.9% sure that I even have a letter that we did get $273,000 from St. John's Water Management District. The only little percent I'm holding back for you is with all of this pandemic.
And there's Susan again. Susan?
Okay, everybody's here. Hang on.
Hi.
Okay, it's still doing. We had a problem with the internet, Dave. Really. Hold on one second. We had a problem with the internet just now. It went down and came back up. Hang on one second. I need to make sure none of this other went bad.
Question or while we're,
Yes.
the New Hope storm drain, $33,500. I'll ask David, is that something with the polling or is that something else?
We have, with the stormwater project, we have Poling Avenue and we have Clark Avenue
Okay, yeah.
that we're going to be doing. It's two different projects. Okay. So anyway, as I was saying, I'm pretty sure we got the $273,000 from St. John's because the $600,000 grant we did receive was not enough money to do Poling and Clark. Clark we have to do because we had no choice because FEMA helped us get the grant. So now since we can't go over $273,000 with St. John's, it looks like I have enough money to do both projects, which is absolutely fantastic. We're predicting, just preliminary predicting on paper, that the project is going to cost $727,000. Well, we got a $600 grant and we got $273 from St. John's. We feel comfortable enough that we can get done what we need to get done. So that's great news there. What we're going to do, we're going to bid it in a couple of different alternative ways, a bidding process, but we're going to go ahead and get all of our bidding done. We hope to have our bidding by July, so that when St. John says October the 1st, okay, you have the $273,000, you can go ahead, because we cannot start the project until after October the 1st, till we get the $273,000 from St. John's. If we start it beforehand, we lose all that. So we have time. This grant doesn't have to be done till June of 2001. So
21, Dave.
What's that?
2021.
2021, I'm sorry. So I'm going to hold up. We're going to be ready. We're going to get everything done, get the bidding process and everything done, but we just won't do any digging or touch any of the ground until I get the 100% okay from St. John's. So that's absolutely fantastic news that we got another $273,000. The museum that we said that we got, they come back and told us, okay, we're going to give you the $30,000 for the museum from the county. Well, I had the contracts brought out here to the town hall by a commissioner, and he wanted me to sign them. But when I went to read them very closely, and I'd asked for $30,000. They wanted me to pay back $20,000 in 12 months. I said, no, I said, that's not going to work.
That's not a grant, in my opinion.
So basically, I commenced to letting everybody.
I'm losing you again, Dave.
Then we went and got another commissioner and got him involved in it. And so Wednesday is Wednesday the 20th? Yes. Wednesday it goes before the county commissioners again. And I look for it to be finalized Wednesday, to be 100% done. And hopefully that they'll get it to where it's favorable to us. So that's looking very good at the moment. Let's see what else we got going. And we got several, we got all of the capital projects going on. We're working on the bathrooms right now, the front office right now. Right now we're working on the storage back in the shop right now. So there's several projects going on at one time that we're trying to do stuff around, but I think it's all positive. I don't have any complaints, and we're moving forward with it. And I think through this whole pandemic thing that we have all been through it together. I am so proud, and just, I don't want to speak too fast. I think for the most part, everyone has stayed healthy, and we've done everything that the governor has asked us to do. And also, I think Teresa has done a fantastic job over at PRC on that end of it, as far as the health wise. So we're moving forward, and I think things are going good.
I just want to add a comment to David's report, which I thank him for on behalf of the committee, that once we are sure that we have the rest of that money in hand after October, we absolutely have to get started, and anything that's scheduled or potentially could be scheduled within those work areas will simply have to be secondary to getting on this project. In other words, we can't wait, after that timeline.
No.
Okay.
If I could just comment on that just a little bit. The Tourist Development Committee for Clay County, as you know, was wanting to do this USA bike cycling out here. And so I'm scheduling a meeting with her because they've been all over the place with their schedule also, and they are talking about October, unless they want to change their routing. We cannot let that hold us up on Polling Avenue. So I'll deal with that, and we'll have a meet with that and see how that's going to go.
I just wanted to be sure that he was aware of this. But we've got to look at Valorum decisions that we'll be making in the council later, later this summer. And we have agreed to the meeting, and our position is we will listen very carefully to what she has to offer, any of her opinions or requests, and we will take it under advisement, but of course make no indication, which cannot be given at this time, as to what the council will do relative to the decision for the next fiscal year. But it is important that we have that discussion, and so that we have a groundwork going forward, since we know this will become a significant issue for us and for all the parties involved looking forward. So I just wanted to report that to the committee.
And if I could also just add to that, Mr. Saban, for Mr. Saban and I are only there to listen to what her concerns are. I just think we need to be on the record, and a good time now to put it on the record is that we still feel like, and she does have to voice her opinion before council, just like anyone else would have to. She needs to come before a council meeting to voice her opinions also. But we're mainly just going to listen to her concerns and go from there.
Yes. Any comments or questions from the committee about this or anything else?
I have one other announcement to make to the Finance Committee. At the last Town Council workshop, which was the 15th last week, I think, one of those days, the council has elected to schedule a separate meeting for the budget workshop. And I would like to announce that, especially to the Finance Committee, because I think that would be important that you all attend to that. And that date is July 31st, 2020, at 9 a.m., starting at 9 a.m. I'm not sure if it'll be a virtual meeting or in person, but I can tell you, I think through June, we're going to be doing virtual meetings. I'm not sure about July yet, but we're set up either way. But that is your budget workshop date. Now, Tom Ryder, I realize you and Miss Ryder like to do your world traveling, and you might be in South Africa. But if not, put that on your date. And
It's getting to be less and less of a possibility, but yeah, we're still working on it.
Yep, still working on it. So, but July 31st.
If I could just add to that, Mr. Saban and I have talked quite a bit. We talk on a regular basis through all of this pandemic stuff, and we both, I just don't foresee us having any meetings at the town hall in person for the month of June. Yes, some of the county stuff is opening, or Green Cove is open and Orange Park is open, but when you consider the type of community that we have, I think that we need to put it off. I feel very strong about it, that we continue virtual meetings for the month of June. Then after June, we'll take it from there. We've come this far with good results, and we just don't need to push it to where we'll have any issues whatsoever. So I'm hoping everybody will agree with me on that.
Well, David's correct. He and I have talked a lot about this, and as mayor, I'm taking a very conservative approach on this because we have our community, the percentage of our residents in the town that are in an age bracket of increased concern is quite high, I think, compared to the total county. And so I think we have every legitimate reason to approach this in a conservative fashion, and we will, as David is saying, we'll consult with people, the committee and others, before we make a decision to open up. But we're going to be mindful of that. Are there any other comments? I want to thank the committee for their patience this morning, and to Susan Kimsley for getting back in on most of the rest of this meeting. Are there any other comments?
The only other comment I have, Dave, are you going to plan on opening the town hall in June, or are we going to wait till July?
I think I want to leave it closed for right now. We've not had any issues with people calling. Mr. Saban and I will talk about it some more, but right now, I'd say leave it shut down.
Okay, that's fine. Okay.
Hearing no other comments, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Thank you, everyone.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Oh.
Thank you all.
Bye. Thank you.
you.
And thanks, Miss Kimsey. Appreciate it.
Anita, you did a good job.
Yay.
Okay.
All this construction going on, I was trying to mute, then take it off of mute, and I apologize.
I don't know. We lost a little there'll be a little glitches on the internet thing too. I don't know what happened with that, but we'll get it.
It's
Okay, what time is it? 11 something? We're at 11:31. Okay. All right. We are good to go. Sweet. Another one down. Okay. Before I crash everything. Goodbye. Good luck. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.